Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name's Katie. This video is going to be me finishing the Pipi pullover by, I cannot remember her name. I'll put up the pattern right here on the screen. It's a free pattern to download. It is only available in one size though, sadly. But yeah, it's a really easy, nice pattern. I think you could adjust it pretty easily. I'm not going to make a super long introduction, but this is going to be me finishing the Pipi pullover. So thank you so much for being here, and on to the video, I guess.
I started this sweater back in, I want to say probably about October, and as I'm filming this, it is November, December sort of area. I put it down when I went back to school, and yeah. So this is me working on the first sleeve. The wool I'm using for this project, the main fabric wool, is the Four Seasons Pure Wool and Twine 8-ply. It's 100% Australian wool in the colour cream. And for the colour work, I have been using the Kletch Heaton Country 8-ply in the colour 1872 for the red and 0048 for the navy.
Okay, I'm going to show you where I'm up to on my sweater. This is the Pipi pullover. I cannot remember the creator's name. I'll put it on the screen though. So that's where I'm up to. So all I have left to do is my red color work on the sleeve, and then I think it's just like 8 rows of ribbing, so it should be okay. And then the other sleeve. Now this sleeve didn't take me all that long, to be honest. It's just I was starting and stopping a lot with it, and it's like that's why it's taken me so long. Oh, I also have to do the collar ribbing. But yeah, that's the Pipi pullover. It is stunning. Like, it is the cutest little sweater I've ever made. So easy to follow. The only bit I did struggle with were the German short rows, but that wasn't the pattern's fault. That was just me not knowing how to do German short rows. They're on the back there. Yeah. Anyway, so that's that. I'm gonna knit and yeah, watch some TV. Hello. I thought, actually, you can't really see what I'm doing. I thought I would sit here. We could have a chat whilst I keep knitting. Just because it's a bit boring to, I don't know, I'm watching YouTube, but anyway. I thought I'd introduce myself a little bit. I don't know if you can see this, but I've got a big scar tape on one of my acne spots. So if you notice that, that's what that is. Anyway, hello, my name's Caitlin. I just graduated high school, so it's very weird being out in the real world. Going to university in February. I have a spot to do medical science, which I'm really excited to do. It's just I have probably about 4 months between now and when I start my bachelor, so I'm a bit lost. I've been trying to find a job, but Problem is I'm not going to be here too long, and none of the Christmas jobs are out quite yet, and so I'm just waiting. Yeah, I've applied to a lot of pharmacies because I really want to work in like a medical setting, but obviously I've got no qualifications. High school really doesn't prepare you for much, I've come to terms with. I have nothing to show for 6 years of study, except more study later on, which is what it is. Everyone goes through the same thing. But yeah. So I went to a boarding school an hour and a half north of where I live. I live in town, which is odd, I understand, for an Aussie border, but not unheard of. Like, there's probably a few other girls from town in my grade, and yeah. So the other thing with going to a boarding school is it's very lonely when you go home, because my closest friend probably is about 3, maybe 4 hours away, and yeah, so it's a bit tough to come home, which is sort of also why I want a job. It's just to make some friends, which sounds so sad, but whatever. I didn't do the right thing when I left for boarding school. I didn't keep in contact with anyone. I was grade 7. You don't understand the importance of it until you're sort of like a little bit too far gone to, you know, understand, oh shoot, well maybe I should have made sure I rung, but you live and you learn, I guess. Yeah, I don't know, there's not much super interesting about me. I really love reading, and knitting and sewing. I've got a sewing video coming up, I think. There's this like stunning dress I found on Depop, and I didn't buy it, and I don't know why I didn't buy it, but I just didn't, and it sold, obviously, and I try and put a picture of it here. Anyway, and then I was at a secondhand store on Schoolies, and I found like this beautiful red stripe fabric, and it made me think of the dress, and I have a pattern that I think I can just alter a little bit, and it'll come out like, oh, you know, it'll be good. So look forward to that if you like sewing. I really don't know what I want to do with all these videos, but I guess if you're seeing it, it means I published it. Yeah, we'll just see where it goes. Here's where I'm up to. There's that sleeve. Ooh, that sleeve finished. Yeah, it's really cute. I'm knitting a sweater. Okay, so anyone who knows Australia knows that Queensland, stinking hot. I'm from like central Queensland, so even more so stinking hot. And so we live like right on like the Capricornus. Anyway, Capricornia? Tropica Capricorn? Something like that. Tropica Capricornia. So it's really hot, it's always humid, so why am I knitting a pure Australian wool sweater? Wow. I'm going down to university in Canberra, and Canberra is in New South Wales, for people who don't know. It's very far down. It's probably about 17 hours. It's about 17 hours where I live from, and it's so cold, and I'm really looking forward to being able to wear a sweater when I go to uni. So that's what this is for. I'm prepping for uni. Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna keep knitting and watching YouTube. I've been watching tech, This Week in Tech, like the, you know how it's like blank support, and it's like they're getting like all the experts to talk about like Egyptian support or like Mayan support, and like I love the history support ones, they're so good. But I did fall down a rabbit hole of the cult ones last night, and they were pretty good. Like, I like to think that I would never fall for a cult, but I so would. Like, I definitely would be like susceptible. Yeah, especially to that Nexum, I think. can't remember the name exactly. Anyway, I think it's like a full like personal growth, like open mindset, all that stuff. I think I probably would fall for something like that, not gonna lie. Anyway, I'm gonna keep going. Okay, I just finished my second cuff and I get to snip the end. The only thing left to do on this is, where is it here, is the neck ribbing, and then I have to weave in the 1,000,001 ends, which is okay, but yeah, that's the sleeves done. Okay, and there we go. That's what it's looking like so far. It's so pretty. I love it. I love it so much. I think I sort of wish I'd started with blue and then went red and then blue, but meh. This is what the pattern called for. But it's stunning. Look at it. 100% Australian wool. So yeah, I'm gonna cast on my neck now. Okay, so from the pattern, you pick up 81 stitches along the neckband, and then you work your ribbing for 14 rows, and then you purl a whole row, and then you work another 14, and then it is a folded neckline. So that is what I'm going to do. I'm switching over to my 5.0 my 5mm circular needles on a 30 centimeter string. Yeah. And I'm just gonna play Netflix in the background, so sauce. The neck is finished. So exciting. It's meant to be a rolled neck, so it goes down like that. Yeah, I'm gonna weave in all the ends and then block it and show you the finished product. Okay, I've got an update. So I ran into a bit of a snag. When I bound off the sweater, I did it way too tight, and it also looked really, really wobbly. So I looked it up on how to do like your bind off properly, and they recommend just knitting the whole way around. Like, don't bind off in pattern. So like, you know how, say you're doing 2 knits and a purl, don't bind off in that pattern, just straighten it, which I didn't know. So I'm gonna redo it. I had to unbind it all and I popped it back on my needles. So I'm going to bind off just to straighten it and then stitch it down. So yay. And then I have actually woven in all of the ends, and it looks really, really nice and neat and good. So pretty proud. I was like, towards the end of it, I was really really wanting to just like flake out and only do like a few weave-ins per end, but I stuck with it and I think it looks looks really, really nice, and it's not gonna come unraveled. So yay.
You're crazy. Every night I lay awake, I ask myself the same damn question. I really wanna dig into the issue. My life's one big ass grave depression. If you got a band-aid and a tissue, but it was only for attention.
Okay. So I have bound off the neck all knit-wise. And the trick with the knitwise is it makes this really nice front facing binder, whereas if you went knit purl, it kind of sits on top, and so it makes it look really, really messy. So now you turn it inside out like so, and then you fold it down on the purl row. Don't know if you can see the purl row, and you're meant to be able to just to line it up with where you picked up your stitches. It's really hard to see. Now you can see it better. So you've got this really nice bind off edge, there's your purl edge, and so where you picked up stitches, you're meant to be able to just line up your columns with one another like that, and then just sew it along, picking up on the ladders, I think. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. I think it's going to be a bit hard to film, so I'm not going to, but I'll show you if it works. Ta-da! It's all finished. Look how pretty it is! Yeah, so it looks really good. You can't even tell. Anyway, I'm going to try it on before I block it to make sure I can get it over my big head. And yeah, how exciting.
There must be someone at the university you can go to for help.
Are you kidding? They're probably the ones who leaked it to the military in the first place.
You know, fall on your side.
My obsession for you, I'm crazy down the road. I'm down, I just keep on keeping on. I'm trying to hide it, the excitement of finally moving on.
Okay, before blocking, I just want to take my measurements of my sweater because I don't want it to get much bigger than it is right now. The only things I really want to fix up are how harsh this line here is. So I'll dry it in more of a curved shape like that, just so it doesn't like jut out when you put it on. So yeah. It sort of like will resist going in, so you really gotta encourage it. So the pipi pullover is finished and I love it. I love it so much. Thank you so much for watching this video and coming along with me as I finish it up. So it's beautiful. It's such a beautiful it's been such a wild ride. I love it. I love it so much. It's a really nice oversized fit. I was a little bit worried when I was blocking it that the arms would be too long, but they're like the perfect length. They match up really nicely with the hem and everything, and I'm just so grateful for it. So I wanted to do a bit of a wrap up. I've got my notes here. So what I learned from the pipi pullover, I learned how to do color work. This is actually my first ever color work project, weirdly. I really love it. I think it's turned out really nice. Everything looks super smooth, and yeah, I learnt to do color work. The pattern calls for German short rows on the back, and I had never done German short row before, so this was my first time. I'm not really sure what a German short row is meant to do. I think I might have done it wrong, but I didn't really notice a huge difference. But I think it's what makes like the neck sit forward a little bit more. I think that's what I learned from my research. I'm not quite, I don't know. But I did do German short rows, or attempted them. So it was something else I tried for the first time. And the other thing I tried, this is actually the first one I've ever properly blocked, like wet blocked, and so that was an experience. It took a really long time to dry. I ended up moving it outside onto our patio, like between two towels, and I just sat it in the sun because I was like, I thought surely nothing too bad could happen to it out there, and it worked fine. Dried up really nice and quick, so yay. What I would do differently next time. This is like, that's everything I had like learnt and done successfully. And then, but the one thing I did learn is not to weave in your ends until you've blocked your piece, which I'll give you a close-up video. Some of the knit, some like the fabric looks really tightly, has like a super tight tension look to it, and I think it's because it's where I wove in my ends before I blocked it. So there's that, but you live and you learn. It really doesn't make that much of a difference. It just is something I noticed and that I'll do different down the track. But yeah, this is the Pipi pullover. I think she's stunning. Thank you so much for being here. Yeah, if you like this video, please subscribe. I'm gonna try and YouTube, I guess. Probably won't be knitting videos every time. This was just sort of like to hold myself accountable to actually finishing this project, which I'm so happy I did, and I'm so happy I filmed it. So thank you so much for being here, and I love you loads. Until next time.